Welcome back. Our expedition is now taking us north, way north. From the Australian outback, we travel to the other side of the world, to the Canadian Yukon. If you like your skies wide open, your wilderness unspoiled, and your winter temperatures about minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit, then this is the place for you. We're in Canada's Yukon Territory with the all-new 2008 Toyota Land Cruiser. For those of you not familiar, the Yukon Territory is one of the coldest, most rugged places on the continent. Our next guest is a guy who eats rugged terrain for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Legendary off-road racer, three-time Baja 1000 winner. And if that's not enough for you, his nickname is the Iron Man. Ivan Stewart, welcome to Test Drive.
Hey Tommy, how are you doing?
We're a long way from Baja, but it's still your kind of area.
It's off-road and it's absolutely gorgeous up here. It's definitely not Baja, but it sure looks like a lot of fun to off-road.
Now, you made your name in Baja. Tell us about the name. Where did the name Iron Man come from?
Well, that came years ago. Valvoline Oil Company put up an award called the Valvoline Ironman Award to anybody that could race the whole Baja 1000 solo, and you had to win. So I did it the first time. I was the second to win it, then the third, and it was Mickey Thompson. Journalists started calling me the Iron Man. You know, that's Ivan Iron Man Stewart. But great fun stories and great times, and a chance to come to places like Canada and go four-wheeling in the new Land Cruiser. I mean, how special can that be?
Well, let's go for a drive. Which one do you want?
I want that one.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Tom.
Now, as we go along this lake, and it feels like our own lake, it might literally be, because this territory is desolate. The Yukon Territory is 15% bigger than California, and in the whole territory, 33,000 people. There's a population in this area of, they say, something like 1,500 grizzly bears. That is more individuals than all but the biggest city, which is Whitehorse, in the whole Yukon.
That is incredible. I can tell you one thing, it's absolutely beautiful out here. This is what off-roading and four-wheeling is all about, Tom. You know, Tom, at 381 horsepower, this Land Cruiser got plenty of that. But the 401 foot-pounds of torque this engine puts out is what we really care about in off-roading, because we may have to get through some sand or silt or snow, and that's where you really want those bottom numbers, that torque numbers, to come up, as you well know.
This is cool. You feel unstoppable in this thing.
You know, one thing, Tom, that people should be aware of in yourself is that when you cross water like this, be aware that as soon as you get on the other side, your brakes might not be as effective as they were, and probably won't be, because now the rotors have got water on them. So
that'll just give me an excuse to give you a little shot up the tailpipe. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Wet brakes.
Yeah.
Now that's the horn in Baja, right?
Parnelli Jones, I mean, like I say, I loved his stories, and a journalist asked him one time too, he said, well, Parnelli, you know, you passed 130 cars in the first 100 miles. How did you possibly get past all those cars? And he said, well, I used the honk and bump system. And he said, well, what do you mean by that? He said, well, I honk. If they don't get out of the way, I give them a bump. And he said, well, now how much time passes between the honk and the bump? He said, about 1/8 of a second.
Hey, there he goes. That's the Iron Man I know. We're going to start calling you Yukon Jack.
And we get paid for this.
We do get paid for it.
If you don't tell anybody, then I do this for nothing.
Where are you going now? This wasn't in the script.
Hey, I see some rocks down here, and I want to try out this automatic crawl control. Now, this is pretty fantastic and really easy to activate. All you need to do is go into neutral, put it in 4 low, back into drive, turn on the system, select your speed, first, second, or third, whatever speed you want to go, and the Land Cruiser takes over. Right now, it's driving itself.
So you're doing the steering only, no gas, no brake?
No gas, no brake. It's just, all I'm doing is steering and concentrating where I want the wheels on these rocks.
Now, watching it climb up over that big boulder there, it makes me think about the kinetic dynamic suspension system, which is a way where you need a sway bar at highway speeds to control all that mass. So Toyota's come up with this technology where it knows when you want roll stiffness in the rear, and then it's activated. When it doesn't, it gets it out of the way and lets it articulate like you need. Pretty cool stuff.
Fantastic technology, isn't it?
Well, you know what? You mentioned Parnelli being one of your heroes. You've been one of mine. But watched you for a long time in the stadiums there in Anaheim. Really appreciate you taking time to come all the way up here to the Yukon to do the show with us.
Well, I really appreciate you having me, and I've had a ton of fun.
Up next, from the Great White North to the California sun, I'm headed to Santa Barbara, California for our final thoughts on the 2008 Toyota Land Cruiser. For more behind-the-scenes footage and features of our Yukon experience, log on to speedtv.com/landcruiser.